father, my father, my father, my father, my my father, 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 my father's my father, 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 my father's my father, my father, my father's my father, my father, my father, my father's my father, my father's my father, 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 and my father, my father.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel everybody, and thank you so much for watching. What's going on guys? I'm Jade. If you're new here, please hit the like button and also share this video. So let's talk about the very forgettable and the forgotten Meghan McCain and how she's now tapping to the anti-Meghan Markle train, which really is like the easiest pipeline to blow, okay? Being a hater, being a Meghan Markle hater is like the easiest way you can blow. It's like the easiest way for you to become something, to become somebody in a space where that was never going to be the chance, you know? And every time I look at the situation and look at what's going on, I cannot help but feel so bad for Meghan Markle, because Meghan Markle is feeding a lot of mouths. Meghan Markle, and they are not even good people. If you're talking about people who are pro Meghan, who are supporting Meghan and benefiting from Meghan, you know, from talking about Meghan all the time incessantly, then it'll be almost worth it. You'll be like, well, at least they have nice things to say about her, and not just saying it because they want to say nice things, but because those things are true. But when you look at the situation and you look at the people that are actively bullying Meghan, and these are people who have nothing but negative things to say about Meghan, it just really is gut-wrenching. And it makes me personally feel all the more sorry for Meghan Markle, because she is basically feeding a lot of evil people. She's feeding people, you know, paying their rents and paying their mortgages and putting food on the table for themselves and for their family. But those things, they also come with their own set of karma. They do. And that's the reason why, if you intentionally, knowing the truth, choose instead to publicate lies, to spread lies, and to intentionally attempt to destroy somebody's life, there is a karma that goes with that. There's a karma. And that's the reason why, personally, when I see people who have been in the news for bullying somebody or being antagonistic or perpetuating lies and pushing misinformation and all this other stuff, when I see those people a lot of times, and they're coming back now, basically walking back what they had done, apologizing, having a sort of mea culpa moment where they like, I'm so sorry for all the things that I did. I'm so sorry for the evil that I perpetuated. I'm so sorry for being so mean and nasty, for saying things that I never should have said. Personally, I mean, and I'm not saying that everybody should be like me or whatever. Absolutely not. But personally, I have a hard time forgiving people like that. I really do. Because in my mind, I'm thinking, at the time you did those things, at the time you made those decisions, you knew, because you were already grown. You're already a grown person. You knew that what you were doing was bad, but you did it anyways because it was beneficial for you to do those things. And those are the people, no matter what, I always have a hard time feeling sorry for people like that, because in my mind, I'm thinking, you knew what you were doing. You knew, even at that time, that what you're doing, the story, the narrative that you are pushing forth are not true, but you went on to do it anyways because you were selfish, because you were self-centered, and you only cared about making a quick buck from bullying and antagonizing and smearing somebody's name. So you don't turn around now when you are on your deathbed due to illness, or maybe you've aged and now you're wondering about what's going to happen to you on the pearly gates, and so you want to try and act as if, oh, I'm so sorry for what I did. For me, I don't care. Fine, whatever. I'm glad that you're talking about this now. Hopefully others can learn. But as far as forgiving you, and no, I don't forgive those type of things. And I don't care about how forgive those so that we will be forgiven. No, I'm very mindful of the things I do to people. That's the one thing that I am very mindful of. From a very young age, that has always been my principle in life. I know that there have been times when I have offended people, but I promise you, I do not set out to intentionally offend people. I do not set out to intentionally destroy people, knowing fully well of the consequences of what I am doing and still doing it anyways because I'm like, I don't care. I'm selfish. I never do that, you know? And if I end up offending, hurting somebody or doing something that destroys somebody, trust me, the minute I realize it, I am going to like apologize or whatever. But these people, because you can actually see in the comments of the Meghan McCain's post, you can actually see people trying to reason with her. You can actually see people trying to make sense and telling her, what you're doing is not right. What you're saying is not right. Why do you insist? Why do you continue to push this negative? She's expecting Meghan to do something, by the way, that Meghan was already doing. Meghan is in the habit of helping people. You know, she's in the charity work she's into, and now the toxic British media are trying to make it seem as though, oh, it's a phase. It's not a phase. This is her entire life. She didn't wake up one morning and decided that, oh, this is what I'm going to do and I'm going to be X, Y, and Z. This is something that this has been her life. She has been a world changer from a very, very long time. But these people who intentionally go after her, because I know based on what we have seen in the past of people coming back to like doing some type of video, having some type of mea culpa moment, apologizing for destroying or even attempting to destroy people's lives in the past and saying, I'm so sorry, as if that's supposed to make up for everything. What about the people you actually succeeded in destroying? What about the people that you succeeded, the people whose lives you actually destroyed? Some of them are not even alive now because on account of what you did, something happened to them that caused them not to be alive anymore as a direct impact of what you did. How do you make up for that? Can you go back and raise the dead? Are you Jesus? So this whole a little too late apology thing doesn't work for me. I say all of this to say people like Meghan McCain, she is eventually going to come up because she has no backbone. She will go wherever the fame is. She'll go wherever the attention is. She'll go wherever the notoriety is. I started thinking, like, what is her problem with Meghan? Because she was very much in support of Meghan before, until I realized that Meghan McCain, she is also some type of columnist for the Daily Fail. It was in that moment that everything actually started to make sense. I was like, aha. So she's a columnist for the Daily Fail. And you know, the major prerequisites, what you have to be a columnist or to be associated with the Daily Fail is to have like a really strong anti-Meghan Markle sentiment. That's all they ask of you. Just hate Meghan Markle. Just be an anti-Meghan person. That is all you need. And then you can write all kinds of crap about her. There is a lot of jealousy and bitterness. Okay. Meghan McCain is like a loser. Okay. She hasn't really succeeded in anything that she has done. Like you can just see like the jealousy that she has. A lot of these people will say, that's why when you hear them say, oh, I used to like her, but I don't anymore. You have to be very mindful of that, because that is basically how they try to get you to believe that there is no kind of personal feelings, there is no bitterness. After all, I used to like her. I may not like her anymore, but I used to like her. At least now you can think you can take me seriously because It wasn't like hate right off the bat. It's a lie. It's a lie. Because if you ever liked Meghan Markle, there had to be a reason why you liked her. You know what I mean? Unless, of course, you're stupid. You have no imagination, you have no sense of your own. So what has she done that all of a sudden, what has she done that made you turn 180? Because she told her truth? Because she needed help? Because she talked about her personal experience while she was living in the UK? Because she was open about what every single one of us witnessed? We saw how they treated Meghan Markle. We saw it. All she did was basically validate what we already saw, what we already suspected was happening behind the scenes, based on what was happening before our very eyes. That's when you see these psychotic people that will start off by saying, I used to like her, but then I don't like her anymore because of what she did to the queen. What exactly did she do to the royal family? She told her truth. She needed help, and they were not offering. So it would have been better if she had taken her own, taking herself out of this world, so that you can come and say, oh, why didn't she cry out? Why didn't she speak out? The one person that had the audacity to speak out about her experience is the one person that you guys are now bullying. Is the one person that you guys are now vilifying. A lot of these white women, there is a lot of jealousy. A lot of jealousy. I have said this before in previous videos that one of the reasons why these white women hate Meghan Markle is because she basically bastardized their fantasy. Make no mistake about it. As old as these women are, some of them are in their 40s, some of them are in their 30s, some of them are in their 20s, mid-20s or whatever. They were fantasizing. It meant something to them that they could fantasize about the royal family, fantasize about the Prince William and Prince Harry, So having a biracial woman come into Prince Harry's life basically messed up that fantasy. Did they believe in their hearts that there was ever a chance that they will end up marrying Prince Harry? No, not necessarily. But the fantasy, the fact that they were white made them feel like they belonged to something and he was untouchable because he's the prince. It made them feel like they own him in a way, and he will only tread a certain line. And then when he went and married a biracial woman, that completely shattered. There is a lot of pent up bitterness subconsciously that is in there, and that is what you see every single time. And in addition to that, Meghan also ended up being like a very successful woman, a feminist, somebody who took so much pride in being a feminist. She has been a feminist dating back to when she was 12 years old. You know what I mean? When a lot of these white women, sorry to say, obviously, I'm not saying it applies to everybody, but when a lot of these women were fantasizing about a Prince Charming who's going to come and rescue them and all this other stuff, their knight in shining armor who's going to rescue them, at 12 years old, Meghan Markle was advocating for mutual respect between a man and a woman, between men and women. That's what Meghan Markle was advocating for at 12. She wasn't fantasizing about a Prince Charming. She wasn't fantasizing about a knight in shiny armor who's going to come and save her, who's going to come and rescue her. She wasn't trying to be Rapunzel. No. She was advocating for equal opportunities, equal rights, equal respect, mutual respect for all genders. And that is what grinds their gears, Because when they hear about her history, when they hear about what she was doing when she was 12 years old, in their mind, it kind of heightens their inferiority complex. Because at 12 years old, they most certainly was not writing, they most certainly were not writing the owner, the CEO of a dishwashing soap demanding that certain words in their advertisements be taken down and replaced. She most certainly wasn't writing the wife of the president of the United States. They most certainly wasn't writing the wife of the president of the United States at 12 years old. But that's what Meghan Markle was doing. So she was destined to be great. So all this rubbish narrative that they're trying to perpetuate now about how, oh, this is a phase. It's a new phase. She went through the feminist phase and then she went to like philanthropic phase. That's a lie. She was doing all of those things. She was doing all of those things and she was making her mark in the world and she was making impact. While all these women were fantasizing about some type of, even the ones that were being sexually molested, even the ones that were being sexually molested in their homes, waiting for some type of Prince Charming to come and save them, Meghan Markle was not doing that. Meghan Markle was being a world changer, was being a trailblazer, even when she was 12 years old. She wasn't looking for a Prince Charming to come and save her. And so they cannot stand that because it kind of defies everything that they know. It defies everything that they know. This right here, this whole situation with the whole this whole situation with the concept of the prince and the savior and the knight in shiny armor and all those things. Meghan Markle defied all of that. And now it's like they have to rebrand, they have to unthink, they have to unlearn, and they have to relearn certain things. And that is fatigue in and all of itself. Because now they have to teach their children, no, sweetie, a woman can have it all. A woman can save herself. A woman does not need to wait for Prince Charming to come and save her. Everything is relative. Everything is relative. So I'm saying all of this for people to actually understand where this hate and this bitterness is coming from. Meghan McCain has always been
my father, 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 my father's my father, 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 my father's my father, my father, my father's my father, my father, my father, my father's my father, my father's my father, 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 and my father, my father.
This is who she has always been, Meghan McCain. My father, my father, my father, my father. When all of that failed, when even the notoriety of her father, when it didn't work, when the admiration of her father didn't work, and people didn't say, "Oh, you are the late Senator Meghan McCain's daughter," when that didn't work, when that didn't catapult her, she decided to go back. She decided to fall back to the easy way out, the lowest hanging fruit. I talk about the lowest hanging fruit here all the time. And those are the people that really, really grinds my gears. People who cannot get fame on their own. And then they will decide to like try and get fame using family name and using other things. And when that fails, they will go to the lowest hanging fruit. They'll start trying to start drama, or they start inserting the name of a celebrity. Let me tell you, the post, obviously her post went viral. I have not a shred of that in my mind. That the reason why Meghan McCain's post went viral is because they boosted it. All these media people, they boosted it. Because what they've been wanting to do for the longest time is to make it seem as though people on this side of the border, people on this side of the pond, don't like Meghan also. That's what they have been trying to do. Because the narrative that people that are always going after Meghan are usually the British people, the British tabloids, the British media, it's really getting on their last nerve. And so now, whenever anybody that is on this side of the pond, whenever any celebrity in North America, or not celebrity, whenever any media publication, any media personality says something negative or anti-Meghan Markle, they like to push that forward. Because what it does is basically gives the impression that, oh, you see, it's not just those of us that are here. Even people in America don't like her either. That's the narrative that they're trying to push. And that's the reason why they boosted this Meghan McCain post. Because they wanted to make people believe that people in America don't like her, which is not true. There are two sets of people in America. People who like celebrities and who like people who like celebrities and who like, for example, Meghan Markle, and the others are people who just don't care because they don't care about the royal family. It means nothing to them. They don't care enough to be obsessed about it the way the toxic British media is obsessed about the royal family. They simply don't care. They don't care. So when I saw this post about Meghan McCain going viral, I knew immediately that it would have been boosted. They boosted this. They use their robots, they use their trolls, they use their all kinds of mechanisms to make sure that the story went far and wild. Because what it does is validates what they want people to believe, which is that, oh, Americans don't like her too. Americans don't care. Americans, for the most part, don't care. Don't care about the royal family. They don't care about celebrities. They don't care about, they don't. But this is what they were trying to do, to send a certain narrative, to spin a certain narrative, to make it seem as though, oh, the people of America don't like Meghan Markle too. So you see, it's not just those of us. It's not just those of us over here. It's not just the toxic British people and the toxic British media. People in America don't like her too, which is not true. It is not true. But that's why they boosted Meghan McCain, to make it seem as though, yeah, we told you. And Meghan McCain was more than happy to go for the ride because she's irrelevant. Like, nobody gives two F's about her. Meghan McCain better send Meghan Markle a bouquet of flowers, because this is the most notoriety, this is the most relevant she has received in a long time. Like, nobody cares. Nobody cares about her bullshit. People don't even like her. When she was fired from The View, people breathed a collective sigh of relief, because she was just there. She was just an instigator. I mean, The View has Republicans hosts and all of this, but she was just like she was just like weird. So it was such a relief when she was fired. And since then, what has she done? She hasn't done anything. She's a liar. She's a liar. She's an instigator. She just wants to jump on whatever is trending. I was telling you guys yesterday about the time during the George Floyd protest. This woman literally lied that, let me even say, I had to go back and look for that post because I had talked about it during my video, or during my live video yesterday. So I had to go and look it and look it up. They literally, one of her neighbors literally had to call her out for being a liar. because this Meghan McCain woman literally lied and claimed that she couldn't go anywhere. There are all kinds of things. There are protests. It's like this and that. Let me see. I had it saved here before. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, got it. When she was called out for being a liar, when Meghan McCain was called out for being a liar, do you know what she did? She turned around and she was like, "Oh, very typical." Very, very. It didn't even surprise me how she tried to pull the "I'm pregnant," and some blogger is now attempting to. Some blogger is attempting to release my home address. I'm pregnant. Lies. Let me go ahead and share my screen. Because she couldn't handle when she was exposed for being a liar. When she was exposed for being a liar, instead of just taking the L and just shutting up, she decided that she was going to play the "I'm pregnant" card. Oh, some blogger is threatening to release my home address. It's a lie. Nobody was threatening to release her home address. So this was what she did. And this was back in 2020. She came out, she posted this and she said, "My neighborhood in Manhattan is eviscerated and looks like a war zone. De Blasio and Cuomo are an utter disgrace. This is not America. Our leaders have abandoned us and continue to let great American cities burn to the ground and be destroyed. I never could have fathomed this." This was the lie that she told, right? Trying to just push a false and negative narrative. And then this celebrity came, Kristen Bartlett, responded to her lies. And she said, "Meghan, we live in the same building and I just walk outside. It is fine." So Kristen called her out for her lies. And then people started dragging Meghan Markle. People started dragging her because you have just been exposed by a celebrity who lives in the same building as you, who says she walked outside, which is very different, very contradictory to what you claimed. Guess what, this woman, instead of taking the L, right, and saying, "Okay, maybe I over exaggerated, or maybe, I haven't been outside, but I'm just watching this and that on TV or whatever, or somebody sent me a message or whatever." No, she didn't. You know what she did? She came back and decided that she was going to put on her victim beret, and she was going to say that she was like, "I'm 6 months pregnant. A gossip organization is about to run a story of where me and my family are currently. I sent out tweets yesterday based on the news I saw happening in Midtown. We all have been watching all over different media." Yeah, I'm 6 months pregnant. A blogger has now claimed that they are going to do a story about me and release my address. That was how Meghan McCain, that was how she handled that situation. Instead of saying, "I apologize," she decided that she was going to play the victim card. She decided that the best way to go about this is to play the victim card. "Oh, I'm pregnant." I promise you that no blogger said to her that they were going to write any stories. No blogger said to her they were going to write anything about her. A lot of people know where celebrities live. Newsflash. And she probably knows this. This is not even a newsflash to her. A lot of people who live in America, who watch the news, who follow celebrities, who follow public figures, they know where a lot of celebrities live. Chances are she lives in one of those high-rise buildings that are really tall in Manhattan, where everybody knows where everybody lives in America. Everybody knows where celebrities live in America, but they don't go there trying to look for them or trying to harm them or hurt them. They don't do that in America because they know that those actions can result in grave consequences. They don't. And it's going to be hard because chances are she lives in a huge building, and there are so many people, and then there are probably there's a doorman there or two, security and everything that's gonna be like, where you going? We need more details. Nobody walks into those kinds of buildings. They just don't. Meghan McCain was not really like she just said this just so that she can take the heat away from herself, because she was being dragged for lying. Anybody who lived in New York around that time know that what Meghan McCain was saying was not true. And rather than maybe apologizing or just taking the L and just quietly disappearing for a bit, she decided to turn around and say, feel sorry for me. I'm 6 months pregnant. Feel sorry for me. I'm 6 months pregnant. Yeah. It's what she does. She never takes accountability. When she does what she does and she lies and she pushes this sort of narrative and she's getting dragged for it, she will turn around and try to play the victim. I wonder what she's going to use as an excuse this time. The other time it was that she was 6 months pregnant. I wonder this time if she's going to talk about how, oh, I just turned 40 and I'm going through midlife crisis and I'm so pathetic and I feel so bad for my life. Is that what you're going to use now, Meghan McCain? So, yeah. She knows she cannot handle it, but the fact that she knows she cannot handle the dragging, she knows she cannot handle the repercussion of what she did, of how she tried to smear Meghan Markle's name. She knows she cannot handle it, but it was just too tempting for her not to jump on it. It was too tempting for her not to jump on it. Because at the end of the day, this was a good opportunity for Meghan McCain to get some relevance. This was a good opportunity for her. So she figured, you know what? I'll just get people talking about me and disappear and only come back when things must have subsided. Okay. What she failed to, which I'm sure that she already knows, there's something that I'm looking for about what Meghan did with regards to, the show, even during the production of this, even during the production of this show, she was still thinking about the people who had less. She still made provision. She still made arrangements for all of her celebrity friends who were going to turn up for this production. Meghan still made sure that they still helped people. She donated. She made sure that they donated to different food, different organizations and where they can get support, where people who do not have enough can get support. She still made sure. But that's the one thing that Meghan McCain conveniently ignored to include in her, which doesn't surprise me, obviously. They will never include that. The goal is to smear her name. The goal is to make her seem like a terrible human being. So making a point of letting people know that she also made provision. I'm looking for something. I'm looking for what I saw something about how, let me see, what she was doing with this, how she was still, okay. Oh, sorry, guys. I'm just looking for something. Yeah, I can't find it now. So yeah, I thought I had it saved up. But yeah, ultimately they saw how well received every single, and that was why they lost their mind. The toxic British media, the hateful, the Rangers, they saw how well received that promo video was, they saw it and they were like, oh my gosh, we cannot let this. We have to give our input. We have to talk about this. We cannot just let this just slide. But we know that they're still going to be watching. We know it. Say what you like. We know they're still going to be watching. Things are happening in the world. Awful things are happening. But people need an escape. People need something that will take them away from the reality of what is going on. I have a bunch of Real Housewives shows that I have not watched because I've been so busy. When I need an escape, do you know what I do? I binge watch Real Housewives. When I need an escape, I binge watch Southern Charm. When I need an escape, I binge watch reality shows. When I need an escape, I binge watch shows like Meghan Markle's new show that has a beautiful aesthetic, where I can just envision myself being in the midst of all those things. It cannot always be like gloom and gloom all the time. We're going to have the next 4 years of gloom and gloom. So guess what? We are going to need all of the escape that we can get. We're going to need all of the escape that we can get. This next 4 years, whoo! So the fact that people get so pissy, it's just jealousy. McCain is just jealous because nobody is knocking on her door. No Netflix is knocking on her door. No production company, no network is knocking on her door asking her to come and do X, Y, and Z for them. It is so interesting because late last year, they started talking about how Netflix does not want to mess with Meghan Markle anymore. That's the reason why they haven't asked her to produce this, that, and the other. Not long after that, the Polo show dropped, and now another one is coming out in January. They were actually lying that Meghan Markle does not have any show, any production for Netflix between the first 5 months of the year. Between now and maybe May or even June, that, there is no production because Netflix is so tired of her. Netflix wants nothing to do with her. They're not even asking her. And then guess what she did? Guess how she silenced the haters? The trailer dropped. So now that the trailer has dropped, debunking their lies once again, exposing what a liar they are, they cannot face that. They cannot face the people that they've been lying to about how they said, she's such a failure. Netflix want nothing to do with her. She has nothing for Netflix from now till 6 months' time. Now that she has basically called them out on the lie by virtue of releasing the promo that she released with the show that is starting on the 15th of January, guess what? Instead of confronting the lie, instead of waiting around for their people to confront the readers to confront the lies that they told, they are now trying to look for all kinds of things to like distract from the lie because they cannot face the people that they had lied to. They told these people that, Meghan Markle is done. Nobody wants to work with her. She's this, that, and the other. Only for them to be completely annihilated. And she does it. I love the way she doesn't even respond to them. She doesn't respond to them. She just goes on living her life, doing what she does and producing what she needs to produce. And so they are coming out of the woodwork because the production, it was so flawless. It was so beautiful. They have not one thing to say about the promotional video itself, but instead they decided they were going to attack every other aspect of it, but they have nothing to say about the production. Okay. So it was beautiful to see how she executed that. They thought that, let's drag, let's try and destroy her name so that Netflix will, they will dissociate from her and they will cut ties, they will stop talking to her, they'll stop. No. the opposite of that is what is actually happening now. The complete opposite of that is what is happening. Because it's very obvious that Netflix is still very much in a loving relationship with Harry and Meghan and their production, and they want to continue this. All this talk is going to bring even more people. Is even going to make people more curious and interested in watching. So all these people, yeah, it is amazing. It really is amazing. I saw something earlier. Let me see if I can find it now. Okay. Let me see. Let me put this on.
My father, 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 my father.
Okay, let's play it. I know that you guys don't like. I mean, I'm gonna do what I'm gonna do here, anyways. But I know that some of you always have an issue with me playing this, the GBN news or whatever. But I don't care. I'm gonna play it anyways because sometimes they do have some gem that I want to share, and so I'm gonna share it. Hold on. They invited some people. They invited a bunch of people. Like they did a call-in show or whatever, asking people to come in, and somebody said this on their show, on the GBN show. Let's see. Okay.
Show called With Love, Meghan is set to premiere on the 15th of January, featuring 8 30-minute episodes, bite-sized chunks.
Well, joining us now is royal and showbiz journalist Ellen Coffin. Ellen, thanks so much for being with us. This is a bit of a surprise move from Meghan. Was anyone expecting a new series this year?
Yes, well, she kind of teased it last year, along with her lifestyle brand, American Riviera Orchard. So we were expecting something more from her. And actually, I think this Netflix series ties in perfectly to that brand because it's lifestyle. She's going back to her roots. This is what she used to do before she became a royal and met Harry. She had a lifestyle blog called Tig, which had over 3 million followers. And she was actually forced to close that down after she became a royal, as well with her social media pages. So it's really nice to see her going back to what she does best and what she knows. And I think we'll see a really different side to Meghan.
Yeah, because I'm a bit confused, I must say, because she did obviously go through her humanitarian phase, her feminist phase.
It wasn't a phase. It wasn't a phase. It was something that she was. I love the response to this.
Her talking about politics phase. I mean, some people are even talking about whether she wanted to be a Democrat politician.
By some people, you mean you guys making up stuff. Unless you hear it from Meghan Markle's mouth that she wants to be a Democrat politician, it is not true. And you guys are just making stuff up as you've always done. So yeah. Hold on.
And now she seems to completely going back to that sort of influencer, homemaker, even dare I say traditional wife sort of vibe.
Can she do all of those things? We're all multifaceted women. I'm sure you have other interests besides GB News.
That was such a takedown. I love it. I love it. I love it. She's like, I'm sure you have other things that you do besides GB News. Because listen, can you really blame them that somebody can do multiple things and wear multiple hats at the same time? I mean, the person that they worship, the Waity Katie that they worship clearly cannot do multiple things at the same time. She can't even do one thing at a time. So, of course, it's like a new concept that somebody, a celebrity, somebody that has as much notoriety as Meghan Markle does, the fact that she will be able to do so many things at the same time. They were trying to downplay it and making it sound like it was a phase. Oh, this is the new. No. Meghan Markle has done every single thing that she's doing today. She has always done. Always. Always. But you don't care enough to research her, because if you do, then you will humanize her. Then you actually see her as anything other than just a pawn, anything other than a clickbait. If you actually do your research to see where she's coming from and what she has achieved, then you will know that she's not just somebody who's jumping on something. For goodness sake, she was cooking. It was after she made chicken for Prince Harry that Prince Harry was like, nothing gonna change my love from you. I have to marry a woman who can throw down like this in the kitchen. A woman who can throw down like this in the kitchen, I am marrying her. It was on that day when she made him chicken that he proposed to her. So nothing Meghan is doing now that she wasn't already doing prior to meeting Prince Harry, long before that. She's not doing anything new now, but these people do not care, because if they do, they'll maybe have some type of guilty conscience that they know the truth and instead are choosing to push lies about her. So it's better if they don't know any of the positive attributes. It's better if they don't know, or at least pretend not to know any of those amazing things, or any of those other hats that she wears. It's better if they pretend as if they don't know, because it gives them plausible deniability. Oh, I didn't know she was doing this. I didn't know she was doing that. You can be doing multiple things at the same time and highlighting one over the other. And she had Tig that had over 3 million followers. It was nothing to sneeze at. It was not something small. She was very dedicated to Tig. Like I said to you guys the other day, and this person, this royal whatever, also said, it was after she and Harry got engaged that they forced her to shut that her food blog down, because the protocol is that everything that comes out of her mouth henceforth has to come from official and the Sandringham Palace, and it has to be, is it Sandringham or Buckingham? I don't know. You don't need to correct me. It's fine. It's not important. But it has to come from the firm, and that's the reason, because they didn't want a runaway. They didn't want somebody, they didn't want her having her own life that she already had prior, They didn't want any of that. So everything that was going to come henceforth was going to come from the official firm website. That was why they made her shut that down. And she did it because she was in love with Harry, But these people, they don't do their research, because then they will actually know things. Even the ones who have done their research will never ever share that they've done it. That's why it's always so gratifying when I see any of their runaway callers because I think these callers, especially the ones that are coming to say positive things about Meghan, I think because they have to screen those callers, right? They have to know exactly what the caller is going to say before the caller comes on air. I'm very sure that a lot of those callers are lying about what they're going to say. They'll probably be like, I hate Meghan Markle. I despise her. I cannot believe she did this to the Queen. I cannot believe she did this to the royal family. So they will sound unhinged, and then they'll put her through. They'll put the caller through, thinking that the caller was going to come and berate and diminish, dehumanize Meghan Markle. But then once they get the audience, once they get in front of the cameras and everybody listening, they will actually say the true feelings and express their support for Meghan Markle. Because I do not believe that if anybody told any of these people, these news people, these shows that they were coming to defend Meghan Markle, that they will be allowed to come and defend Meghan Markle. I think those people will typically lie about why they are coming. Oh my God. I think they will typically lie that they are coming in to come and trash Meghan. And so they will let them in, and all of a sudden, once they get on stage and once they get live, they will start actually saying positive things about Meghan Markle. But it was so refreshing to see that. And they are speaking to a predominantly British audience, and majority of their audience obviously don't like Meghan Markle. So it's always nice when I see one fall through the crack and that person just comes out. And they always do a really good job whenever they get a chance, to speak to the viewers directly. They always do a good job of highlighting everything that Meghan has always been. This is not something she woke up and thought about. This is something that has been a part of her life long before she even met Prince Harry, But they want to diminish her. They're making this sound as though this was a phase, or this is just something that she woke up one morning and decided that she was going to do. They have compared her to all kinds of things, from Martha Stewart to all kinds of things, which is so bizarre and stupid to me, okay? They haven't heard everybody when Martha Stewart started her whatever. Everybody in America, everyone was Martha Stewart. Every woman, every married woman, homemaker was a Martha Stewart. So she didn't invent anything. She didn't invent, and every generation has their own set of quote unquote Martha Stewart. And if she wants to be these generations Martha Stewart, so be it. God bless her. Let her do whatever. There is a market. That is the beauty of America. There is a market for anything that you want to sell. There is a market. So talking about how, oh, this is so tone deaf. Oh, this is so so not right because of what's going on. That's a lie. When people were suffering during the panorama, when everything was shut down, people couldn't go anywhere. Stores were closed, groceries everywhere, airports shut down, everything. People were that was when the makeup industry sold. During the panorama, that was when the makeup industry made their hugest sales. A lot of people became billionaires. Kylie Jenner became a billionaire. Rihanna became a billionaire. Around that panorama time, nobody was going anywhere. The last thing you expect people to buy is makeup. Where are you going? But people needed something to remove their minds, even if it just means you watching your favorite makeup artist on YouTube and then recreating their style, recreating their makeup just to make you feel good. It was an escapism. It was a form of escapism. Do your makeup, take pictures, and then wash it off. So the fact that these people, because they're looking for what they want to use to like diminish her and minimize her, they are trying to say there's no market for it. There's a market for anything. Look at all the people that are excited about this, people that want to see her because they love it. It looks aesthetically pleasing. Everything looks so yummy. The music is upbeat. Everybody, like everything is so good. Everything just looks so good and so perfectly put together. And people are interested in that. Who are you to say that, there is no market for this? Oh, this is so tone deaf. No, it's not. No, it's not. It's just jealousy. It's so obvious because they've been trying so hard to destroy this woman. Like this woman, they tried. They really believe that, oh my gosh, we're going to teach her a lesson. The royal family, nobody touches the royal family. She did not touch the royal family. She just told her truth. She just gave her side of the story. When the royal family, the toxic royal family, when they were using the media, they were pushing false narrative about her. She told her side of the story. The story that they told about how Meghan made their weighty Katie cry. She had to set the record straight because that really was the one of the things that really drove people who were still not sure. It was one of the things that pushed a lot of people over the edge when it came to her. How dare you make our English Rose cry? How dare you make her cry? It really drove a lot of people over the edge when it came down to her. So she said, that's not what happened. Oh, you wanted her to give a half-baked story to say, oh, I didn't make her cry, and just leave it at that, and not expose your English Rose, and not expose that she was the one who actually made Meghan Markle cry. So that's what she did that you guys don't like? No, you guys are going to cry. Like, they tried every single thing to try and bring this woman down, and nothing has worked. And they look stupid because all of their efforts have been null and void. And Meghan McCain talking about how now that she doesn't want to be a member of the aristocrat. How long ago was that? This woman hasn't been in the UK for almost 5 years now. In a few months from now, it'll be 5 years since they left the UK. So what are you blabbing about? You know? So, like, it's crazy, but I'm so proud of Meghan Markle. I cannot wait. I'm going to watch all of the episodes multiple times. I'm going to support my girl because she's just crushing it. And the fact that they have not succeeded in their attempt to destroy her is really, really grinding their gears. And I love that for them. I absolutely love that for them. And I just hope that she continues to do well. I hope that Meghan Markle continues to do well. She deserves all of the success. And Netflix, it's very obvious that Netflix is so pleased with Meghan Markle. Netflix is so pleased with our girl, let me tell you. Like, they are just throwing their weight of support around her because they know that she has been targeted, unfairly for far too long. And I love that Netflix is riding with her through and through. It makes me really, really happy. But yeah, I wanted to bring you guys this update. Thank you guys so much for being here. Please, guys, hit the like button and also share. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I will catch you in my next one. Bye.